She was never meant to be queen, at least, not according to anyone who understood how the world worked. Esther was just a Jewish girl in exile, raised by her cousin Mordecai after losing her parents. She didn't grow up in a palace. She grew up learning how to survive quietly. But sometimes, destiny hides inside ordinary lives. Far away in the empire of Persia, King Ahasuerus ruled with absolute power. His palace glittered with gold, marble, and pride. And when Queen Vashti refused his command, the throne beside him became empty. A new queen would be chosen. Across the empire, young women were gathered and prepared for the king. Esther was taken too, not because she asked, not because she dreamed of royalty, but because history was shifting, and she was part of it.
Inside the palace, Esther didn't demand attention. She listened, she learned, she showed kindness. And somehow, in a place built on power, her quiet grace stood out. When the king saw her, he chose her. And just like that, the orphan became queen. But she kept one secret. She never revealed that she was Jewish. Outside the palace walls, a man named Haman rose in power. He craved honor. He demanded bows. And when Mordecai refused to kneel before him, rage filled his heart. Haman didn't just want revenge on one man. He wanted to destroy an entire people. A decree was written, sealed with the king's ring. On a chosen day, the Jewish people would be wiped out across the empire.
When Mordecai heard the news, he tore his clothes in grief, and he sent a message to Queen Esther. She had to speak to the king, but there was a problem. No one approached the king uninvited, not even the queen. And if he did not extend his golden scepter, the punishment was death. Esther was afraid. She hadn't been summoned in 30 days. She could stay silent. She could stay safe. But Mordecai's message reached deeper than fear. Who knows, he told her, whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this. For such a time as this. Those words changed everything. Esther asked her people to fast for 3 days. No food, no water, just prayer. And then she made her decision. If I perish, I perish. She walked into the throne room uninvited. The room fell silent. Every breath felt suspended in the air. The king looked at her, and slowly, he extended the golden scepter. Grace. Instead of accusing Haman publicly, Esther did something unexpected. She invited the king and Haman to a banquet, and then another. She waited for the right moment. Courage doesn't always shout. Sometimes it prepares. At the second banquet, Esther revealed the truth. She told the king about the decree, about the destruction planned, about the fact that she herself was one of the condemned. Shock turned into fury. The king realized Haman had manipulated him. The very gallows Haman built for Mordecai became his own end. The decree could not be erased. Persian law was unchangeable. But a new decree was written. The Jewish people could defend themselves. And on the day meant for their destruction, they were delivered. What was meant for annihilation became celebration. Esther, the orphan girl, had become a protector of her people. She didn't have armies. She didn't have political power at first. She had courage. She had timing. She had faith. And her story still whispers something powerful. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room to change history. You don't have to look powerful to carry purpose. Sometimes you are placed exactly where you are, not by accident, but for such a time as this.